Welcome everybody to our Green Acres. My name is Teresa. Okay, the first project we're going to work on is going to be a frame mat. A lot of times when you find frames at the thrift store, they will have mats in them. And a lot of times they may be a color that you don't desire. Well, I'm going to show you how we can upcycle those and make them a lot prettier. This is one that came out of a frame that I got at a thrift store. You can see it's got two sides. This side right here is the one I'm going to use because I don't have to paint it. But I'm going to show you how you can just apply some really pretty decoupage paper. And I'll have a link to this decoupage paper I'm using down below. But you just want to apply your decoupage paper to your frame mat. And I'm using DIY liquid patina and I'm just working in sections. You just want to apply it in sections like I am, and then you want to roll over it with a brayer and just smooth it out really well. Now once your liquid patina or your decoupage medium dries, then you just want to go around and you want to remove the excess paper on the edges. Now I'm using a piece of sandpaper, but you can also use like a sanding block, or you can actually cut it away with a little X-Acto knife. I have this little razor blade that I got on Amazon, and I have this linked to my Amazon store, but I use this a lot, so it's a really good tool to have. Once you have the center piece removed, then go around with your sandpaper and make sure you have all of your edges smoothed down. Once you've done that, then go over the whole piece using your decoupage medium and seal it really well. Put it in a frame, and now you've got a beautiful framed mat. If y'all have been with me for a while, or if you're new to my channel, I'm going to let y'all know I love to upcycle windows, and anytime I see them at yard sales or thrift stores, I try to pick them up if they're a good price. I have a lot of them throughout my home. This one, I want to paint the back of my frame. I want to spray paint it using a couple of layers of white spray paint. Now I want to let y'all know that my friend Jackie at Ruth and Ruby, in her online shop, she sells a ton of beautiful decoupage papers. Now these sheets right here are very large, and you can see the price on these. A lot of these are like in the $6.95 range, but y'all, she has some beautiful designs on these. These are absolutely gorgeous, and that's what I'm going to be using in today's video, is some of her decoupage papers. And I'll leave a link to Jackie's information down below. She has an online shop, and she also has a shop in Jasper, Georgia. So if you're in the local area, make sure to stop by and visit Jackie. Now to work on my window, once my paint dried on the back, I brought it inside, and I'm going to work in sections. But I'm taking that beautiful piece of decoupage paper that I have, and a full sheet will work for my window. I just had to make sure that I planned it out and I grouped it the way that it would fit across the whole window, and one sheet worked. Now I'm just going to use again the DIY liquid patina, and y'all know I like to work in sections when I'm applying my decoupage paper. That way I can roll it and get it applied and get it rolled out really well and smooth out as many of the wrinkles and the air bubbles as I can. And as you can see, I go through each pane of the window and I work on each section separately and just get each one applied. Now I love to use a sponge brush for this process. To me, I just get better control of it, and then that way once I get the paper applied, I can also go across the top of it and apply it and seal it really well across the top. Now I'm going to show you some more decoupage paper and how we can use it on this beautiful wood tray. I got this wooden tray at Goodwill and I paid $2 for it. Now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to give it a couple of coats of white chalk paint, and then I'm going to go around the edges and I'm going to distress it really well. Now once I get it distressed, I'm going to take another sheet of that beautiful decoupage paper that I got at Jackie's. Jackie at Ruth and Ruby, like I told y'all, she's got a huge selection of decoupage paper, so make sure to go out and check out her shop. These sheets right here are very large, and you can work on a lot of projects, because in the video I'm going to show you how I'm going to use some of the scraps from these decoupage papers and just make smaller projects with the scraps. But I'm just using my hands, and I'm trying to make some creases in my paper because I want to capture these beautiful birds on this nest. So I just use my fingers to make some creases, and then I'm going to go along again with my pencil and make some lines. Once you get your lines, then you just want to go around, cut out your paper, and then it should set down in the inside of your tray really well. Now once you get it in there and you get it positioned the way you want to, the way I do my decoupage paper is I kind of hold it in the center, and that way it kind of holds it down and then work in sections. And I just work side to side. I'll do one side, I'll apply the DIY liquid patina, and I'll seal that one down really well. And just work your decoupage medium on the bottom and the top, and then go over it with the brayer and just smooth out all of that decoupage medium, and then also any air bubbles or wrinkles that may be in your paper. And then again, I just go over it, the top of it, and seal it really good, and just keep smoothing it out. Just be careful when you go over with your brayer to be gentle and don't overwork it, because you can tear your paper. Now I sealed it really well for a last coat, so it'll have a good seal on the top, and the tray is done. Now I'm going to show you how to take some of the scraps from your decoupage paper. Maybe you didn't use it all on one project, how you can take it and you can use it on other projects. This right here, I wanted to capture these florals, so I'm just taking another frame mat that I had. This one's larger, and I flipped it over to the lighter side. So if you've got a frame mat that is a dark color on both sides, you may want to go on and paint it white. That way your decoupage paper, you won't see your dark colored mat, once you get your decoupage paper applied. So I'm trying to capture as much of the florals as I can. Now, if your decoupage paper is large enough to fit over your framed mat in one piece, that's great. You won't have to go through all these steps that I did, but my paper was not, and like I say, I'm just trying to use all my scraps because it's too pretty to waste. So I'm having to kind of piece mine in as I go, but that's the fun of it. Just make it work the best you can. I just took my little razor blade tool and I just cut out the center part, and now I'm going to try to place it on another area of my mat. Now once I get it sized down and I get it marked, then I'm just going to kind of cut away, and then I'm going to apply it into this section. And that's all I did. I just worked around my framed mat until I got it completely covered. Now I'm going to show you an easy way of how we can paint a wood frame to go with our beautiful mat. I'm going to take some Sweet Pickins. The color is creamy, but this is milk paint. So if y'all want to experiment with milk paint, I highly encourage you to, because it's a very fun product. You'll get a crackle effect, and it distresses really well. But my friend Jackie at Ruth and Ruby, she also sells this paint. but you just apply it in layers. You apply one layer, let it dry, and you can also go over it with a heat gun or your blow dryer, and that will give you more of a crackle effect. I think a lot of people are intimidated by the paint because it's something you have to mix, but the mixing process is so easy. It's just 1 part water to 1 part powder. I think I did 2 tablespoons of each to cover this frame, because once you mix it, you do want to use it because you cannot store it. Now look what a great crackle effect and how well this frame distressed, and I think it goes so well with our mat that we just made.
Off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So
I want to take just a minute to remind y'all, things that you see in my videos now, you are able to purchase at Stephen's Unique Antiques. I will leave all of Stephen's information down below, so if you see something in the videos that I do now that you're interested in purchasing, just contact him. Also, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'd love for you to be a part of my family. Make sure to like the video if you did today, and also make sure to go over and check out my new channel, Teresa Greene. Now let's work on another thrifted item. This is a metal planter box, and I paid $2 for it. I think I got it at Goodwill. All I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint it white. This time of the year, it's so easy for me to go outside and spray paint versus brushing everything inside. I'm going to take these beautiful transfers. I used these in last week's video. These are linked in my Amazon store, but you get 3 sheets of these, and there's some absolutely beautiful designs on these. And just apply the beautiful transfer, and now we've got a beautiful piece that we can set out and display through the summertime.
try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me.
I recently did a video haul from a churchyard sale I went to out on my social media. So I had featured this little coffee percolator, and I got it for 50 cents. And it is missing the glass top, but that's okay. That's going to help us out because we can just put some florals down in that. But I'm going to use another one of these beautiful transfers that I have in my Amazon store. And like I told y'all, I'm going to link everything down below for y'all. These right here are absolutely beautiful, and I had so much fun using these. I'm just going to apply this one to the coffee pot. I'm not even going to paint this. I think the color of this with these pink florals are just going to be really pretty together. The handwriting at the bottom will not fit on the little coffee pot, but I'm going to add back that little white backing so it doesn't get damaged, and I'm going to show you how we can use it. So, because we don't want to waste any of the transfers either. I just tied a flour sack bow onto it, and I'm going to take a little piece of that handwriting, cut it out, and I'm going to apply that to the tail of my bow, and that just adds a little bit more detail to your projects. And anytime when you do a bow, you can absolutely put your transfer on before you tie it. But I went on and tied mine just so I'd know exactly where I tied it and where the tail would be, where the handwriting would go. So now we've got a great little detail on our bow, and look how beautiful this transfer looks on our little coffee percolator we got for 50 cents.
I wanna drive a faster car, lay my troubles to rest, blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
Okay, y'all, are we having fun yet? I know I am, and I'm having so much fun with these transfers. But here's another sheet of them, and here's a little tray. Now, I had already used this in a video before, and I painted it white, and I applied a stencil to it. Well, I have spray painted over the center of it and covered up that stencil. Now I'm going to do something else to it. That's what I love about DIY projects. A lot of times you can upcycle them again and again, and that's what I'm doing with this little tray. I just went over it with some white spray paint, covered up the stencil, and now I'm going to apply this beautiful transfer to it. This right here now will make a great dish to put your jewelry in, or you can just set this up in your summer vignettes. The next project is going to be a beautiful wooden box that I picked up at Goodwill, and I paid $2 for it. I absolutely love this color of wood, and a lot of times I do not like to paint this because if you add just the right color transfer to it, you can really upcycle some brown pieces and just add a little pop of color by adding a beautiful transfer. These are the transfer sheets I've been using in today's video that are linked to my Amazon store, just to give you an idea of what beautiful graphics these are. I want to cover up that design that's on the wooden box, so I'm going to go with this little transfer right here. I'm just going to cut it off, and I'm just cutting the pieces off that will fit on my projects and the pieces that I can use. And then I can always use the rest of them on other projects. This right here fit perfect on the top of this little wooden box. I applied it, and now we've got a great piece that we didn't have to paint, but we left it its natural wood color, but I think the paint really pops on this beautiful brown wood. Here's another thrifted piece that I picked up at Goodwill, and it was $2 also. I love pieces like this, and they're so fun to work on. All I did with this one was I spray painted it using some white Rust-Oleum spray paint, and then I'm going to take another one of these beautiful transfers. Like I told y'all, I had so much fun this day in just trying to give you easy ideas of how you can really embellish your projects with some very inexpensive transfers, and they're so easy and fun to apply. I'm just going to apply this one to the front, then I'll style it for you and show you what a beautiful piece this made, again for our summer vignettes to add some florals to, or some vintage dishes. Do y'all remember in last week's video this little tic-tac-toe board that I bought at Salvation Army, and I paid $1 for it? It come in pieces. I took it all apart and I made some projects out of those little white pieces, and now I'm going to use the hot pink pieces. I'm just going to take one of them and I painted it white, and now I'm going to take a piece of that bird decoupage paper that I used on the tray. Like I told y'all, I'm trying to use a lot of the scraps from the decoupage paper because it makes beautiful projects too. I just use my DIY liquid patina and I'm going to apply it to this little long board. We're going to drill a couple little holes in it. I'm going to put some wire on it, embellish it with some bows, and I'm going to show you some beautiful ways that you can style a piece like this once you get it made.
Gonna stay in this moment, gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely, I am finally home at last. And I don't mind being gone on adventures for a while. No, no. 'Cause
I'm going to do something a little different to end this video, but I'm going to put some pictures of just a few of the items that I have in my booth at Stephen's Unique Antiques. So if you see something that you love and you'd like to purchase, just get in contact with Stephen and he'll be happy to help you. He will calculate your shipping and also send you an invoice. So make sure to contact him, and I'll leave his information in a pinned comment and also in my description box. I appreciate all of y'all watching the video, and until then, I hope all of y'all have a great weekend, and I will see y'all again in my next video. Bye, y'all.
I'm always feeling homesick.